Everyone before us is there welcoming us now.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So because of the way that their hair grows, I'm gonna start on the bottom. And I'm just gonna do it super light. Can I erase this?
Melodies inside yourself and love come pouring out.
And you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Everyone's allowed.
I'm gonna go small. Now you're gonna say, it's gonna take me forever. But I'm gonna tell you that in the end, you're gonna really like the way that it looks, because it's gonna look like his hair is growing. Trust me.
Okay.
There in the heavens, Galileo and those pining for the moon. No, it's a slow burn to Pioneer and Helix, Uma, Mama, Heliopause and Neptune.
Because the world is such a crazy place, and for somebody sensitive like myself, it allows the person to give sort of venue for those emotions or for those, feelings that you have, or expressing the beauty that, with the picture that we were painting from today. Those kind of things excite me, so it's nice to be able to transfer that into a canvas or to a drawing and things like that. I think it's important because everything is so systematic, or the world has so many different things going on that that's a beauty to look forward to.
An outlet.
The kids I work with, high school age group.
Okay.
Because you all are where I was then, so the mind is opening and you're seeing so many different things, and that's reigniting the passion that I have for art. But also, I'm also fueled by nature. So I have a huge garden, so that kind of influences what I do to my ceramic work. So it's a lot of everything, with the world around me, the people that are in my life, and things like that.
Callisto, Calliope, Beetlejuice, the neon moons.
So Kara's program, Artworks, this is my 5th year being a mentor, and I already have Autumn, who's not with us today, but I was having lunch with Kara and Samantha, and she said that she had another student, and would I be interested in taking on another student? I said sure. And then I met Ethan, and he blends very well in the little circle that we've created in my studio.
Kendra's my mentor. It's really cool being able to be in a studio on Saturdays, like before I do my other stuff, and just have a space that is artistic and open, and a place where we have 3 completely different people, but we're very similar and we get along very well. We just blend super well.
Well, it kind of goes with the question you asked about what inspires me as an artist. I find that the relationship that I have with my students, I learn a lot from them, and hopefully they learn a lot from me. But like Ethan said, when we exchange ideas, there's different perspectives and things like that. I enjoy that interaction very much. And being an artist in my own studio, I tend to be by myself quite often. So it's a wonderful way to be with people that are of like mind and feeding that part of my muse.
It's very interesting. I've never had an experience where I have a mentor in art where it's more one-on-one and not in a school setting or a class setting. So it's really interesting being able to see how my being mentored and learning things, new perspectives translates into my art, because it translates in ways that I wouldn't think it would. In a class setting, I could be like, hey, I need help on a specific technique, and all that changes in my art is how I do something or how I approach something. In a mentorship, it's more of where am I getting my inspiration from? How am I finding the things that I want to put in my art, and how am I physically translating myself into it versus just oh, I need to change a brush stroke. It's a lot more personal changes, which I think is really cool.
Some space for this part here, because that's not white. And then I'm gonna do a rough scribble, and then go from white to the blue. The clouds will be last, because you want to do the background first.
gonna sit and mix my colors first. And then I'm gonna go in. And I'm gonna start at the top. And I'm gonna go diagonal. So I'm gonna still save this spot for last.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start from this corner and go inward.
I'm gonna start from this and go up. We are so opposite.
Alright, I've been an artist for my entire life, meaning that like I've grown up around artists in all sorts of different fields, whether it's stonework, painting, batiking, music, just being artists in life. So art has been something that is so ingrained in me. It's an expression, it's an investigation, it's how I learn, it's how I like output who I am as a person. And it's also how I learn how to attack problems. So it's really integrated in like, at this point, every stage of who I am. It helps me with clothing, it helps with personalization of like my car and just my things and my notebooks and things, but it's also, I don't attack like math problems and like, let me figure out how to do this. I'm like, okay, let's get a piece of paper and draw it all out. So it's drawing shapes in order to like comprehend stuff. For people who want to get into art, I always say just do it. It's a really hard thing and it's really scary and everyone thinks they have to be like really good at it or perfect at it or get this out of it or get that out of it or whatever. Screw that. Just do it. Have fun with it. Play around, learn, like look at artists, look at how they do things, look at techniques, because I can guarantee that if you learn something in art, it probably translates to a skill outside of art or vice versa. Like if you are a person who loves spreadsheets, just paint a spreadsheet. Because there you've already learned how to work with perspective, with lines and things like that. So I always say just do it, just wing it. It'll come out, I promise it'll look good eventually. And then for artworks specifically, it's a really cool program that sets up like places to learn unlike you've learned before. Like I talked about with like being mentored, it's different than just like having an art teacher or an art class. It's a lot more personal, and the fact that it's something that so many kids can apply to and get matched and get paired and put into groups is really cool. And they do a really, really good job with putting you in places where you're going to be successful. I didn't think that I wanted to be in an environment that was so like laughterful and so like fun and so joyous and so like cooperative. I thought I wanted like a strict art teacher because that at the time I was like, I want to do this really specific thing. And then I started doing art for art classes in school, and I'm already doing that. Like I already have like a rigorous art class where I need to learn all these skills and like be perfect. I don't want to do that on a Saturday. You need freedom in art, and that's what Artworks provides. It's like a structured freedom, which is really cool.